gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, yo, Dre, there's a one right there. Yeah.
Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more. Follow me.
Yeah. We in here, man. It's Night Soul Feelings Live. Let's go, man. Let's go, baby.
It's heavy right here.
Let's go. Hey, man, it's Facts Over Feelings Live. We got me and my brother Corey here, man. It's such a pleasure, such an honor to be here tonight, man. We're gonna continue dropping content, you know what I'm saying? As much as we can, we're gonna continue to drop content. So please make sure that you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, you know what I'm saying? And we definitely appreciate all the love and support that we can get. It's Facts Over Feelings Live, you know what I'm saying? I'm your co-host. Is Danny, you know what I'm saying? And it's Brother Corey in here. And let me tell you something about Brother Corey. Brother Corey has an organization, Dad's Raising Men, and that's something that we live by. It's not just an organization, it's actually a lifestyle. Dad's Raising Men, DRM. You can follow him on Instagram. I'm gonna let him give you all his handles and everything. Powerful man, very powerful man. and we're gonna get into it. What's up, brother Corey? How you feeling?
Going on, bro, man? First of all, I just want to say it's a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Always when we get together, it's a movie. You know what I'm saying? We always create a movie. It's a pleasure. To those who don't know me, my name is Corey. I'm co-founder of DRM, which is Dads Raising Men. And I say co-founder because I always say that the movement don't belong to me. You know what I mean? It never belonged to me. You feel me? Anytime it takes a band of brothers, you know what I'm saying? And you just became one of mine, you know what I'm saying? So DRM is
Absolutely,
you too, baby. So, you know what I mean? Anybody else who tap in with us, it's about building and iron sharpening iron, you know what I'm saying? And
absolutely.
let's follow us on Instagram. That's D_R_M_number 4 life. Tap in with us.
Tap in, tap in. Yeah, we appreciate that, man. So tonight, man, it's a deep one, man. We can make series and parts on this for real.
But they
As much as we need to, because we gotta understand and explain the delusion of the matrix, or what have you, and what the matrix actually stands for. So first and foremost, what do the matrix mean to you for real? Like, tell me what's inside your mind for real about the matrix.
So, man, first of all, I gotta say to all of those who have not watched that movie, definitely, you know what I'm saying, go back and look at that movie because
It's a
it's a
classic.
classic and it's ahead of its time, and that's first and foremost. But I'm glad I caught the message first, you know what I'm saying, because I understand. To me, the Matrix is everything I was before understanding. You know what I'm saying? Before having understanding, you know what I'm saying, before going through something, all of us was locked into a systematic way of thinking, you know what I'm saying, and that's basically what it is. Like we are born into a systematic way of thinking until we decide to open up our mind and heart at the same time to receive truth, you know what I'm saying. And it's just and unfortunately everybody can't go. If you look at the movie, how it was, everybody couldn't be pulled from that matrix. They were so dependent on that train of thought that if you pulled them, they was gonna die for real. So it was
Right.
only a chosen few that could even be pulled from the matrix. But when you know something is different, you know what I'm saying, something is not lining up the way it should, and you know it in your heart, then you know that you being pulled from that matrix. So to me, it's just a concept, man, that we were brought into believe that this system is really working for us. You know what I'm saying? It really is really a system that needs us to work for it. You know?
So you saying that the system, so the matrix is really the system that we are put in.
Hmm.
In other words, would that be
Yeah.
right?
In other words, a systematic train of thought. You know what I'm saying? To make you feel like we are all trained to feel like something like this is success to a man. This is
Mm-hmm.
success to a woman. This is what love is. This is
Mm-hmm.
sacrifice is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When
Mm-hmm.
that all of those are perspectives depending on the person's situation, and it's very it's tailor made for the person's situation. You know what I mean? Like I could have a few things that I consider what love is. That's a foundation. You see what I'm saying? The foundation. Okay, let's say unconditional love. That can be a foundation that all across the board.
Right.
But but what you deem as love, the love level for you, may not be that for me. You see what I'm saying? So, but if a system says a man who loves you does this, or a woman who loves you does that, you see what I'm saying? And you go off of that, and you judge or you define your situation according to what the system says it is, then you locked in. You see what I'm saying? You still plugged into that. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right. And so for me, I would agree with the same thing. So the matrix, yo, is crazy because it's like they were saying that this is not real. So it's some stuff that you had to decipher through the message. There's some stuff that's real, and there's some stuff that's not real. Um, but basically, this system, what you're saying, is what I agree with. The Matrix is a system, and for me, it's not just an ordinary system. it actually contains numbers and stuff like that. And it's like binary. And if anybody know anything about computers and you got zeros and ones and all that stuff, you understand that the matrix has a code. It's on some God level type stuff. When you can create a God, or when you can create a universe, a realm, you know what I'm saying? It's on a God type level, you know what I'm saying, where you're put into a space. And that's where people want to talk about, you know, the other dimensions and, you know, string theories and stuff like that. But whole time the matrix is, like you said, the system.
At it,
it's a
systematic.
it's a systemic thing. You feel what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That's put in place, and whereas though we're so focused on the system that we can't even see what's actually really happening in the real world. So while we're busy being entertained, you know what I'm saying, our education has gone far away. And it's crazy because when you look at China, how China owns TikTok, you know about the TikTok thing?
man, a little bit, a little bit. I
All
know
right.
that.
So
Yeah,
the TikTok thing, right? China owns TikTok, if I'm not mistaken, right? And the
yeah.
content that's on TikTok that they show Americans and I believe the Europeans, the English people are far different. Like they show us the entertainment stuff, they show us all these trends, these dances, these ice bath challenges, you
Hey,
know what I'm saying? TikTok shows you all of that stuff, but in China, the originators of the content, they don't show their kids that. They
yeah.
only show them inspiring stuff, educational stuff. That's all they show them. That's all they're allowed to see. And
Understand
people,
with that mind, bro.
right?
Like, understand that. Sorry to cut you off, but
No, you good. You good.
yeah, that's really, man. I did know about that, but it's like, how do you pull? The question is, we know that, and I know that there's a lot of other people who heard, man. They don't show us the same thing. They don't allow their kids to do the same thing. The whole different training ground for that for their children. On top of the fact, as entertaining as it can be to scroll them videos and laugh at stuff, because I can't act like I haven't been that person.
Right.
You got to think about. I've also seen some in my the part of my mind that's not plugged in. Is like, man, this is a lot of intel for for them to have against us. It's a lot of intel because the same way we pull a phone out, man. I seen a lot of criminal activity. You see,
Mm-hmm.
and like, and all they do is, you got to think, somebody that let's throw this out there to the people that still plugged in, and they like to be entertained. That's kind of the same thing as being in the Matrix as well, being too entertained.
Right.
At the same time, they give us what we want. You see
Right.
them
And
information.
I'll be talking about something called education over entertainment, because a lot of times that's what we choose over education, or rather we get our education from entertainment, and that's the wrong way to be. And I mean,
Yeah,
I wanted to get into this at the end of the show, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of stuff we're talking about is basically uh delusional chi.
yeah,
We'll get to that point, you know what I'm
uh,
saying.
yeah,
But you know, the matrix is definitely systemic. It's a system that we're put into, and that system actually has its own algorithm, just like YouTube. Which is why I'm encouraging the people, when you hear this content, know that we studied, we have research, we've have our own experience, we have a compilation of data. You know what I'm saying? We went to extremes to get this information. We would definitely appreciate if you like, share,
yeah,
subscribe, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying, to continue the growth of the platform. And we're gonna continue to make content, and we're gonna continue to develop content that's best for the people. But as I digress, the matrix, to what we both can say is, it's a system that's put in place to basically distract people from reality, right or
Mhm.
wrong.
Yeah, absolutely true. And I do want to say this, that we to those who ever hear conversation like this is never to make anybody feel as though we're up here or I'm up here and you're down here and I'm still, you know what I mean? Because a lot of us just didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Dads raising men, to be honest, the whole concept came from me learning, like not knowing. A lot of us did not know how to do certain things. And respectfully, first thing you do as a man, you realize, you know what? It take amongst men, if I'm willing to humble myself and share the information or receive the information and vice versa, and we're never looking at each other less than, then you know how much growth and power that is. You understand? Like that is a concept within itself that can't be broken. It goes down to your children. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get that out the way. But as far as that matrix, man, it goes so deep into symbolism, like learning how to catch the attention of the mind. Like I realized, I seen little things. Like I worked retail management and stuff like that, and I realized too, even down to, it starts with small trainings. Like I used to wonder why they put these certain things. Like, what's the purpose of putting this candy bar, this soda, this? I'm in a hardware store. Why you up here? You see what I'm saying? This
Right.
particular, why? I don't know why. I'm just always thinking like, why a Pepsi though? You know what I'm saying? Why not a hug? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but it's like, it's you. They know that you'll have your child with you while you shop, so automatically, and they'll put batteries and little things that you feel as though it's all about the getting. We got to get every little penny out you, so you can come and say, listen, I came in here to get boop by boop a pad. You know what I'm saying? I only need this particular thing. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? And I got
Right.
$100, and that's what I'm gonna spend. I got $100. But you take your baby girl with you, or son with you. He on the run with you, and then you get up there and you like, dang man, I need them batteries. What that is? That's tacking on another, $8 on your bill, and then you got your little one with you, and he like, can I have that? Can I
Right.
have that? You
Right.
like, go
Right.
ahead, get it. You feel what I'm saying? So right then and there, system, a success, systematic. They call those actually spontaneous purchase. So I realized, I said, man, that's everything we do. How many times you been on the road and seen a Cracker Barrel sign or something, or Chick-fil-A? You're not even hungry, and you keep driving like, and you on a mission. You like, no, we ain't stopping. We ain't stopping. You going long distance, and before you know it, what exit is that? Get off on this exit. Let me grab.
Hey, bro, that's what. Hey, yo, that's a good key point, yo. That's a good key part, because guess what, yo? A lot of the matrices, a lot of the matrix tactics is through advertisement. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like what their advertisement, and notice how in that scene, right? When he had that choice, and we're gonna get into the video later, you know what I'm saying, another part of that video too, but notice how, you know what I'm saying, it was advertised to him like, you could be this way, you can be that way, like it could be this way, it could be that way, like there's no in between. So we gotta realize that the advertisement that we're seeing was really driving the economy, and that's something that's a major factor, and I want people to realize that too, and how important money is, because the economy drives a lot of these factors. So the economy has a lot to do with the matrix. So it's obviously something to gain out of having people in the matrix, and that thing to gain is money. You know what I'm saying? When we understand how money moves and money work, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, because money basically controls the laws and everything that there is to be. There will be no United States, there will be no corporation without money. And we have to understand how money works as a people, especially as Black people. We got to teach our people the importance of economy and all that stuff, just to get out of these shackles and chains, because we've been taught this system by these people, and not knowing that our people have the power to change these structures, but the forces to play is
Yeah.
that matrix. That's what we're trying to get out of, and a lot of our people are stuck in that same matrix. It's a financial matrix. It's a parental matrix. You know what I'm saying? It's a spousal matrix out here. You know what I'm saying? Everything, every which way we can get caught up, there are matrices out here. If I'm even saying it right, matrices. However you say it or pronounce it, I'm gonna say a lot of words that
Right.
may not necessarily be a word, but it's going to make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just follow me. But you feel me? You get what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, that's what I get from the Matrix. You know, you understand what I'm saying? It's a lot of people, so to speak. Our people be able to understand this. It's a lot of people that's still on the plantation.
And also,
That's the best way to put it.
you definitely put that. You made a point straight to the point with it. I just want to throw that out there to piggyback off of what you just said. Most of the times, you gotta watch the people. They use our people. You understand? They use who do they use to lock you in? They
Mm-hmm.
use a lot of our people. So you gotta think, if this person is pitching me this is what I should be. This is what I should be doing. This is how I should promote myself. And you know they're not doing that with their own children or in their own home. That's a sign.
Right.
But there's a check to be had. You see what I'm saying? The
Mm-hmm.
difference with us is that we have to catch up. You know what I'm saying? To where other cultures are, as far as we got to stop feeding each other the bait. For
Right.
us, we stepping on each other shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Instead of realizing, man, we need to give each other equal game and support. You see what I'm saying? Without expecting a deal, without expecting favors all the time, just support it so we can all be our own foundation. You see what I'm saying? That's how you really get pulled away from the matrix. You know what I'm saying? And starting with home, with your home, because like you said, like I never thought about the mini matrices, like you know, if that's the right way to say it, but it's little mini factions too, like you said,
Right.
relationship, finances, education, bro. I ain't even know, like, it's so many things that you just learn about history as an adult that I know for a fact they painted a whole different picture. You know what I mean? In school, as far as history is concerned, that's important information.
Right.
Like there was a slave Bible that existed,
Okay.
an actual slave Bible where it was not even printed with certain scriptures and chapters, just so they can read that to the black slaves and give them the concept that this is what.
Tell them about it, bro. So okay. So another matrix would in other words be a slave Bible. Let's get into it. A
That
little briefly.
by
Let's touch on that.
of course, the first thing we know is to snatch a person's history. They really can't identify with who they are. That's
Right.
one. That's one of our battles. With I think that's a personal matrix for us as black people. You know what I'm saying? But one way they did that is there was a Bible that was created. It was a King James version, but at the same time, it was made. It was made not to have certain scriptures that would promote any level of freedom in it. So
Oh, say that again.
yeah, so the Bible was actually made. So they gave the slaves a form of religion. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
introduced Christianity, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, that particular Bible that slaves read from, it
Mm-hmm.
if I can't not to quote off top what it was, but there's certain ones about being honorable to your slave masters and things like that. They made sure that those chapters were there, but ones that any scripture that promoted any form of freedom or free thinking, it wasn't even
Real talk.
the scripture wasn't even in that Bible. You know what I'm saying? So now off break, you already coming in there. You know what I'm saying? A
For
little
real.
ignorant,
For
but
real.
you coming in ignorant. You know what I'm
So
saying? So
there
I thought that
is
was crazy. You feel me? Because I was like,
yo, that's a crazy that's a great point to make. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to get too deep. You know what I'm saying? With people that's not there yet. What we can do is give people tools. You know what I'm saying? But there are financial matrices. There are relationship matrices. There are everyday life matrices. One example. Well, before I say that, I'm gonna say that the point that you brought up, that matrix is another form of another matrix. You know what I'm saying? We caught up in all these matrices, right? And another form is the social media matrix, right? Where you one way online and you're another way offline and stuff like that. Like those two lifestyles conflict with each other. You see how that is?
hey, listen, I had my own theory on how that even came about, right?
Right.
Um, you tell me how you feel about it, because I thought heavy about that one time. What started it? You know what I mean? What started us really having a need to actually always show everything. You know what I'm saying? To
Right.
level to basically that's what it's become now, like a competition of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, right?
Right.
Think about it. To me, my personal take on it is that celebrities never had an opportunity to interact that so close with your average people until a platform that will give us an opportunity to see them and see what they're doing, and then for them to show how they spend their money and things like that. So when you merge those two worlds,
Mm-hmm.
it's only going to do one or two things. It's either going to motivate you, you know what I'm saying, in a positive way to which it should, and there's nothing wrong with that, or it's going to make you feel like, am I worthy to even be on here unless I'm always showing that I'm doing something big? You see what I'm saying? It
Right.
also plays on your mental too.
Right. And the thing is that we see social media and stuff like that as reality, and we see reality as make believe, like some type of fairy tale, and that's crazy because I wanted to say this, but it has to be said. And the first time I heard it was from my brother, and it says that life imitates art, and art imitates life. And so while people are busy imitating the things that they and people that they see on TV, the people on TV are so busy imitating the people that you see in real life. Take any show, take whatever that you want to do. The only way to make it relatable to us is to have some form of relatability to reality.
Yeah. That,
So the people that's on TV and that's on those screens, even the cartoons, they are busy trying to make it seem as realistic as possible, while we, which are really in reality, are so busy trying to be like what we see on TV, and all of that stuff is make believe. That's crazy, right?
that is,
I
bro.
How life imitates art and art imitates life. And so it's a fine line between the two, you know what I'm saying? And to me that's like a conflict between like the spiritual and the natural and the supernatural. You feel what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
a spiritual dichotomy there, you feel what I'm saying? And that is the matrix. Because when you look at what was going on throughout they was going through different realms and different dimensions. There's some
Mm.
things I agree with. There's some things I don't agree with. But the Matrix is just like, yo, this is not real, but this is real. But how do
Yeah.
you determine what is real when what is not real? Oh my goodness, we is going to get into that video, man. That is
Right.
crazy.
You
Um,
oh what was crazy? What came to mind when you said that? How would you say? Life imitates art and art imitates life.
right,
That's how you put it. So you broke that down real good too, because I've heard that before, but broken down that way, it made me think about, I saw something with, so there's just as much as your average person, or your person that's living everyday life, we have a matrix to battle ourselves. Even those who are in different positions financially, they have their own matrix as well
mm,
to stay there. You see what I'm saying? If they to keep that level of prominence and not realizing they use you until they don't need you anymore.
right,
That's how that works. But
right,
what came to mind real quick is I seen a clip with Michael Jackson, bro, and he wanted to do something normal, like go and shop at you know what I mean, go shop for food like a regular person. This
right,
man paid to have the mall closed down so he and his friends can walk around with carts and have real and workers that they hire so they can just shop like normal people. Do, do you understand how trapped you have to be and want to break? He just wanted a moment of feeling normal. You see what I'm saying? Because
right,
his mate was not. He didn't know what it was like to be able to walk through a store freely. You see what I'm
right.
saying? It's like they both prisons. You know what I'm saying? Within its own way, within its own right,
Mm-hmm.
it's both a prison. You know what I mean? So I feel like my question to you is, where would you where would you start? Where would one start to pull away from that? Like, where would you start at? Like if somebody say, okay, all right, I understand. I can see the concept of being trapped in a matrix. All right, where do I begin? Just a start.
That's a good question. I think one crucial part of getting out of the matrix is recognizing the matrix to begin with. In order to really solve a problem, you have to know what the problem is and where to attack it. See, I like to reason a lot when I discuss with people and apply things to real life situations, and that's why I'm not really a big fan of people that make words sound good, because although words sound good, they are not practical. Just because you say them and it sounds good, a wise man once said that they're a word salad. It does not make it practical to real life. It does not mean it can be applied to real life. So with all that being said, though, I believe you have to identify the wound in order to uh, start the healing process. So if you were shot, you know what I'm saying, or stabbed, and you didn't know where you were bleeding out from, if you didn't address that wound, you will bleed out. And that's what I mean by actually being practical and actually being reasonable. Because a lot of people have their own ideologies and what they say that they have their own truths, but that's not what reality dictates. Reality shows you something different. So if a person feels like they can get out here and just cross the street without looking both ways, even if especially in Baltimore, even if it's a one-way street, shucks, think that you don't have to look both ways before crossing that street if you want to, and
Right.
see the end result of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always talk about quotes and old people quotes and how much respect I have for old people quotes. But there are some that needs to be getting rid of, like what you don't know won't hurt you. No, what you don't know will kill you.
Some
So that's why I say it sounds good, you know what I'm saying? But let's be practical. If you out there in the wild and you have to depend on survival and you don't know, like, okay, these fruits and nuts and berries and mushrooms, these are poisonous because they have poisonous nuts and fruits and berries and stuff that we can't eat. You understand what I'm saying? And if you
yeah.
don't know that going out into the wild and you just choose to eat that, then that's to your demise. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't matter whether what you knew or what you didn't know. You're dead now, or you're terribly ill. So, with all that being said, I think the first step into getting out of the matrix is actually identifying the matrix itself, and that's what was happening with Neo. When you look in the video, right? He was already searching online and all that stuff, and it was
Yeah.
like, look, you already been searching for the answer for real, and that's
He
why they sought him out. You know what I'm saying? In front of out of everybody, they got him out of everybody too, because he already been searching for the answer. You feel what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
that's what stood out to them, and they was like, "Yup, we got to get him." And
Yeah.
that's how you begin to heal. You know what I'm saying? And another thing about that process too is that when you begin to heal, then the walls come crashing in on you. You know what I'm saying? Like the experience that he had after he realized what was going on, it was a trying
So,
time. Whereas though he really wanted to give up.
yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? He wanted to give up and give in. And I know that's the attack of the enemy, is to get us to give up and give in. Our circumstances will cage us in, and it'll encage us around, encompass around us until it smashes us. And you know what I'm saying? And it reduces us to our lowest point. And then at that point, you know what I'm saying, you either do one or two things: you fight or flight. And I would encourage people to fight, you know what I'm saying, as long as you have life. Because if
Yeah.
you give the enemy that power, then you gave the enemy that
Yeah.
power. You
Too
know,
too
I
much.
want to
Too much.
give the
Yeah.
enemy power. If you got to take me out, okay, take me out. But I'm not gonna give you that power, and
Yeah.
I'm not taking myself out either. You feel me?
That's man. You said that. You said that. Is effective as possible. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the way you have to start. Like you said, when your eyes open to it, you can't ignore it. You know what I mean? Like you could choose to ignore it, but don't you can't ignore it. It's like a light bulb. You know what I'm saying? Like how the cartoon go, the little light bulb come on. You cannot act like that light bulb just ain't come on. You know what I
Right.
mean? See that, all right, there's more to this situation. There's more to this life. It's something beyond what I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And I think we had this conversation before when we talk about fighting for your family, like the enemy of your family within itself. You know what I'm saying? The enemy of your relationship or your children, all of those things, they are the same enemy. You see what I'm saying? Because it's power there in that family structure. The thing
Mm-hmm.
about that is you can decide, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to ignore this and let things go according to however they play out. But once you decide I'm want to fight whatever's coming against my family, and
Mm-hmm.
and you start to expose that enemy, and
Mm-hmm.
had this conversation before. Just expect that the whole game plan for him is for you to get tired. If
Mm.
he can make you exhausted with the fight, you know what I mean? Get you
Right.
exhausted. Whole game plan. I gotta, like you said, all your situations start coming to a head. You know what I mean? Because he wants you to feel like you don't have options. You know why? Because you're pulling yourself away from that programming. You understand? You're not going to be fought as long, not fought as hard as long as you stand in that programming, because then you still playing by the enemy's rules or the system's rules. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? When you pull yourself away from that, man, you'll start to see the whole game is to make you tired. The enemies come out the woodwork. You see them.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, that's what was behind why generational curses came up, or my kids trying to, they dealing with this or that. It's all distraction because you exposing. You know what I'm saying? You exposing the enemy, and man, it's like once you take them blinders off your eyes, like once you open up your eyes to that, and you learn that I really have to be aware. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something. It's a purpose. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a purpose for you, without even making it sound fluffy. It's a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
The same way in the movie, how Morpheus' purpose for Neo, for finding Neo, that was all his purpose
Right.
was. Like he
Right.
was he was purpose to find this man and bring him into the forefront. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And put, and give him the choice of having his eyes open. You know what I'm saying? And be who they needed. You know what I'm saying? So man, it's really like, man, we can go on. I wish we had
All right, so
people.
look, hold on. So yeah, man, we can go on and on and on about this, but we gotta get to the other part of that segment where, you know what I'm saying, where he had the choice about the red pill and he had a choice about the blue pill. You feel me? So tell me what you think about the red pill versus the blue pill. Like, what's that about?
To me, that red pill symbolizes the moment that you get tapped on your shoulder and realize that, hey, it's more to what's going on. Like how listen to that little voice. You know what I'm saying? That little voice that's whispering, like I said, with the how they place things at the register. Those registers.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't know why I was thinking of that, but it made me think, like, why would that be here if we selling this? This has nothing to do with whoa, whoa. You know what I'm saying? So that to me symbolizes, okay, do I go further into what I'm thinking, or do I just say, no, you doing too much, I'm overthinking it, it's just candy, or it's just a soda. You know what I mean? It symbolizes being having an opportunity to make a choice to stay in my comfortable space, which I feel like sometimes that comfortable space is equivalent to not growing, depending on what your perspective is, or trying to live purpose to the fullest. I think that's how I fit. To me, that's how it interpreted to my life. Like I started questioning purpose. Like I gotta be here for more than this. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We have to be. It has to be more to this. Or what am I supposed to leave? What type of flag am I supposed to plant? You see what I'm saying? And
Right.
then I feel like that's
So
what I'm.
what?
Yeah.
All right. So all right. Let's say you had choice, right? And you had a choice, and it was the red pill or the blue pill. Which one would you choose, and why?
I'm red all day because
Mm.
I'm a thinker. I consider myself a thinking man. So I feel as though I would at least have to hear what's being said to me in order to make my decision. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I'm not going. I'm not the type that I'm just going to shut something down, even if it sounds alternative to what I'm used to the way I think. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
because I think because of that trait in me, I'm automatically going to take the red pill because like he was like Neo was he was already living a blue pill life, and
Right.
that man was like bored to death. You like if you look into it, he knew
Right.
something right, and he was making money. You
Right.
got he wasn't broke. He didn't, you know what I'm saying? He was kind of living comfortable. He
He
had
had
his
a white collar job too.
and a side hustle
Yeah.
at the same
And
time.
yeah, he was with the people that was
He
in
was
college, I
selling the
think,
yeah,
or whatever they was. What?
making the programs,
Yeah,
making
whatever
the
they was at.
yeah. So at the same time, it wasn't like he wasn't fulfilled financially. So and he still felt like it has to be more. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So with that said, I mean, I feel like it's just listening to me. I would at least have to hear the information.
So
To
the red pill for me, yo, the red pill versus the blue pill. This is interesting because it's like a what do you call it when you got a like a double dynamic? Like it's like a uh I
what is
don't
that?
I forget that word, but I wish I would remember it right offhand. I should know it.
I don't know. You know,
I'm not sure. Don't get me the line. I
right?
can't remember it.
Yeah,
But anyway, like when you had that double play on things, so you got the red pill versus the blue pill. So the red pill, right, was basically the truth unedited, the raw
yeah,
truth, right?
yeah.
And the blue pill was basically like the blue pill was basically like a person that's green. You feel what I'm saying? Like you straight green. You know what I'm saying? You don't know nothing that's going on around you. You're
Right.
unaware of your surroundings. All you know is your own truth, and that's a thing, an ideology that I really want to do away with. The fact that people have their own truth, it's not true.
Yeah, that's
What
dangerous.
is true is that two things can be true at the same time. Now that's a fact. You feel what I'm
Yeah,
saying? This is facts over feelings. This is facts over feelings. Now, it's a fact that two things can be true at the same time. But
right.
what is not true is that you have your own truth. Because, like I said, even though things sound good on the surface value, it's not practical. Because I mean, I could believe that I could just cross the street or whatever, and I just be good or whatever. Just cross a major intersection highway. I could believe that. I could believe I can fly. I drop out of plane. I drop out of air balloon. Whatever. I believe I can fly like R. Kelly, but he's still locked up. You feel what I'm saying? Look at the fruit. You understand what
Important.
I'm saying? Look at the fruit. You know what I'm saying? You can understand a tree by the fruit.
Yeah,
That's a you can.
body
I
fruit.
mean, if
Yeah.
those that understand that you can identify a tree by the fruit that it bears, and then you can identify the health of the tree by the state of the fruit that you're eating. You understand what I'm saying? You can identify the health of the fruit. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Based on the taste and smell and some other things. Hopefully, you don't get to taste. Hopefully, you don't have to taste it to know that it's bad. That's what you don't want to know. And the thing with the blue pill is that I believe that the people that's on the blue pill side, you know what I'm saying? I think that they're gonna hit a wall eventually, you know what I'm saying? Whereas though the red pill, they already hit that wall. So the
Yeah.
red pill is the people that hit the wall early and knew what they was facing, knew that they had this obstacle, this wall in the way that you can't go around, that the only way is to go through or over the obstacle, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's red pill to
Yeah.
me. And then
Yeah.
the double, oh, I was just it almost came to me. The double negative, the double affinity. I forgot what it's called. But anyway, don't quote me on that. But whatever it's called, the double side of that is this red pill versus blue pill thing that's online with, you know, red pill content creators, such as who Andrew Tate and Kevin Samuels, O'Shea D. Jackson. You got a lot of people, and a lot of those people denounced the red pill content since then too. So the red pill content space is really like a men's advocacy group, and then the blue pill content will really be like the feminist movement. You feel what I'm saying? So that's another matrix in itself. Remember, we're talking about matrices or matrices, however you want to say that word, whatever. Remember, I told you we're gonna make up words. I don't care. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
that's another matrix in and of itself. You know what I'm saying? Especially that's something that we have to deal with in the Black community, is that masculine versus feminine, that whole red pill versus blue pill, that men versus women, that whole dichotomy and that whole diatribe of people, the people that have those discrepancies and stuff like that. It's a double negative, whatever you want to call it. I can't remember the name. It's that. And it's deep, you know what I'm saying? And it's a matrix. And it is a matrix. That's another matrix that we're going through out here that our people are dealing with. Our people are dealing with traumas at the traumas. We got to deal with our ancestors' traumas. That's another matrix. Our ancestors' traumas. Knowing that they went through things that were indescribable and inconceivable, that the thoughts that what's happened to them and how we got over here and stuff like that, those are traumas and stuff like that. Having a code switch, like we can't talk like how we talk regularly and stuff like that in society, generally, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
to you know what I'm saying, for a certain group of people which don't happen to know our lingo and dialect. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff is traumatic. You feel what I'm saying? And that's another matrix in itself, knowing that we have to conduct ourselves a certain way in the house, but when we outside, you know what I'm saying, we gotta
different.
Yeah, that's another matrix. Do you
With
get it?
With
Do
the
you get it?
then the job call you.
Right. The job call you one way. The kids call you another way. Wife call you, girl call you, you're another way. You understand what I'm saying? All of these are matrices, and we jumping in and out of them, in and out of them, in and out of them. And it's not just Black people; it's people that are forced into this Western society. Period, because that's what they made us do: play on many hats, many roles. When you know what I'm saying, that type of civilization creates a people that are so concerned about a certain goal that they forget about their own health, their wealth, and prosperity, even as a people, when that is natural for us to actually look out for our own people first.
Like
It's a matrix.
a lot of them, a lot of other cultures have mastered that aspect of a matrix. They
Right.
look on. That's just one of our. That's one of our, the personal matrix that's tailor made for us. You know what
Right.
I mean? That lack of trust in each other.
Right.
And this is not like, of course, we know that that's always been a topic of discussion. You know what I'm saying? Division amongst us. So we can go on about that, non-stop. But to stay on topic, I was thinking about why a lot of us may not take the red pill. You know what I mean? Like, some people won't take the red pill
Why
because
wouldn't people take the red pill?
they wouldn't take two reasons. I believe the first one is that I know the concept of the caveman. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That concept of
So
how.
so for those people that are online and don't know that concept, do just give a
So
brief
so
summary.
so so I forgot the writer. Forgive me for that, but a friend of mine opened me up to the concept of the caveman mentality. Um, and it's basically stating that you can be inside of a cave and you come out of the cave. You know what I'm saying? You have enough mental strength to come out of the cave because you know it's out there. So you're living. You see
Mm-hmm.
that you see that it's land out there. You see that it's fruit. It's food. You can it's a world out there. But you leave your friends in the cave. But you go in to pull one out, and he might fight you. He might fight you like to the death,
For
trying
real?
to pull him out for for the lack of belief that it's a better life outside of outside of that cave.
So for in layman's terms, the caveman term is more like a crab in a bucket term as well, right?
Or the fear of not knowing. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? The fear of not knowing what I
It's
know
on the
what's
other side, right?
I know what's in this cave. I know
Mm-hmm.
what I've eaten. I know what you know what I mean? I'm comfortable here. I
Bro,
don't
that is brilliant.
You see
That's
what I'm saying?
yep.
So while you pulling me, you forcing me out my comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? It becomes a very offensive mentality.
That's brilliant because that's a better way and a layman's way of describing the slave plantation mentality that we're talking about. And
Right.
that's what I like to do. You know, to make people understand stuff more, you might have to put it in a term. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
mean,
to
here's an example of that. And yeah, keep me up to speed with that because we can go, and I
yeah,
don't want
let's go. Let's
to.
go.
But
Mm-hmm.
the one thing I do want to say about that blue pill too is some people won't take it because we realize we don't want to leave certain people. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I can't leave this person if I go this way. You see what I'm saying? We because we don't want to leave our loved ones all the time. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is sometimes if you take that real red pill, it might make you have to make a decision, at least for a minute. You know what I'm saying? At least for a minute, make a decision and come back for that person. You know what I'm saying? Because you might be the chosen one to go forward, get the information. You know what I'm saying? Gain strength, come back and get your brother, get your sister, get whoever. You know what I mean? That's one thing. But as an example of what that blue pill looked like in during slave times is how how slaves was free. They was said, listen, you are free. You don't have to stay here. You see what I'm saying? And
Right.
some chose to stay back and work for the slave masters for the rest of their life because they've been slaves for so long. It scared them to death to try to live a regular life. They ain't know nothing else. So can you imagine? We think of that. When I heard that, it's like, dang, you done saw your peoples get raped. You probably done saw a lot of your peoples, get sold off on the same land, on the same plantation, beat
Mm-hmm.
same plantation. All this history of suffering and trauma,
Right.
only to finally get an opportunity to live life freely and experience that, and you are fearful and can't do it. You rather stay there with all those memories of death, destruction, and everything that you understand. Like, you have to be plugged in. That means you are that system did what it was supposed to do at the end of the day,
Right.
out of fear. You know what I'm saying? And control.
Yep.
They trained them not to ask questions. That's why
Yep.
I have to say this. Like, this generation, the generation of now, seek information and will ask questions. You feel what I'm saying? When their matrix was training them to not ask anything. Don't ask anything. We will tell you what it is. You feel what I'm saying? Even down to how what your God is that you're supposed to believe in. We'll tell you
Mm-hmm.
how to please him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's another matrix. And that's what I
Yeah.
was saying. Religional, excuse me, religion. How do you say that word?
Religious.
Uh, religious,
Religious.
religious,
Yeah.
matrix, matrices. However you say that word, I don't know. What's
That's
the
right.
plural of matrix? So, do anybody know the plural matrix? I don't know.
Hey,
Let me know
listen.
in the
Open
comments.
matrix tonight.
What's the
We know
plural matrix?
you making up
Matrices.
stuff home. We know y'all know what we mean. Y'all know you
What's
feel
the
me?
plural? But
We family.
um yeah, you got all these matrices. You got the
Yeah.
job matrix, you got the family matrix, you know what I'm saying? You got all these things that get people caught up. And see what the matrix does is it stop you from seeing the real thing. And ultimately what that will stop you from doing is achieving the real goal. You feel what I'm saying? The goals with the goals that's supposed to be set out, the goals that's supposed to be done. You know what I'm saying? What's supposed to be set out for you to do. You're now distracted from that. And another word for distraction would be delusion. You will be delusional. So if I were to describe the matrix in one word, I would say that it's the delusion. It's the great delusion. Yep, that's what
I,
I would say.
I would say that, and I would say it's the chains. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
I just look. I just when I think of that, I think of bondage, like how you
Mm-hmm.
do something. You know what I'm saying? So that's the picture I get of chains that people, and it's a lot of distraction. You know what I'm saying? It plays on distraction. So sometimes pull yourself away from something. Nobody's saying, listen, don't out. listen, all of a sudden become a hermit. You know what I'm saying? Be like a person. You just don't. You one with the trees and all of that. Like I'm saying, sometimes withdraw
Right.
just so you and your spirit can have a conversation for real. Cause
Mm-hmm.
quiet, you hear stuff. You know what I mean? Like when it's quiet, a voice will talk to you for real,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
and you can and you'll hear it without all the distractions. Cause that's the whole game plan, man. I told you, like we said before, like the
Let
game
me
plan.
ask you something that's a little bit off track though. That's well, yeah. What do you think about the names too though? Like what you got Neo, I think it was
Morpheus.
Morpheus and Trinity. What do you think
Yeah,
about them?
but
Because it's really three of
you know
them
what?
is
I
man.
felt like it definitely meant
Uh-oh. It looked like we lost you,
my
brother
bad, bro.
Corey.
I felt like it definitely meant something, but definitely that Trinity. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you. I can see you.
definitely the name Trinity. I definitely believe that meant something, but it
Mm,
was like where you going at with it because she was kind of like there. She was also she saw a vision with him. If you look at it, she saw a vision with him, but she had to wait till certain things played out in order to move on, like her love for him and all of that. So she was
yeah,
there for a purpose.
I see that.
Gonna
What
make me
stood out to me about that was that it was her kiss kind of that.
brought him back.
Yeah, brought him back to something
Yeah.
else. Like that was crazy. He just like before then, I
You know
guess he
what
got
that
beat
shows?
up so bad, and then it was like after he got the kiss from Trinity, it was like he had an awakening or something like that. You feel what I'm saying? Which might mean something symbolically. You feel what I'm
And
saying?
Trinity. I see where you're going at with that.
Yeah, it
But
might. I know. I know
it,
they have a
it's
whole bunch
thinking
of
like
hidden
that,
symbology in
right?
movies. People be like, "Yo, you're conspiracy theorist. Yo, you are not. You are not." Like, no. All right. So look, this facts over feelings for real, right?
Right.
So to be honest with you, a conspiracy, and I said this already too. A conspiracy is not wrong. People got the wrong idea of conspiracy. A conspiracy is actual fact. Like if you were charged with conspiracy to commit murder, that means you were an accessory to murder. That means that murder did happen,
Yeah.
and you was a part of the conspiracy. The conspiracy is more just like a plan that a group of individuals carry out. I think. Well, I don't have a dictionary definition in front of me, and I didn't pull that out. But this Facts Over Feelings Live, you can look it up, fact check me, drop it in the comments. I believe that that conspiracy is a plan or action carried out by a group of people. If I was to sum it up to make my own definition, that's what it would be. And people like, how you can make your own definitions? Because we got to challenge these definitions. Don't let me get to that conversation. That'd be another conversation for another time. But
And
is
definition of perspectives.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
see, perspective. This is why I like truth. Truth deals outside of perspective. Remember how Neo had perception, like, well, everybody don't have to go by the rule. He had his own perception about life, and then you know what I'm saying. He was awakening to the real thing. You can perceive what you want to perceive, but people had to realize that your perception can be an illusion, which is another matrix. So that's where you get magic from and all of that other stuff.
Yeah, that's a fact. No, I definitely I think people it ain't hard to get. You know what I mean? To understand where we coming from if you just listening. You know what I mean to the points, because
Mm-hmm.
points don't lie. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, if it's making sense, if it's lining up, and definitely fact check us. You know what I'm saying? And we would love to. We love the discussions. You know what I'm saying? Because it also give opportunity for us to grow as well. Um, but I see that whole that whole bringing them back to life thing too that stood out. It was also showing you like she really it was power of love. You know what I mean? Like just a little bit to show you like there is power in that too. The level of love. I always say that. You know what I mean? Love is strength, not weakness. You know what I'm saying? I find myself quoting it a lot, but I think that was one thing. Like it was showing power of love, and it was funny. Like now you got me thinking her name was Trinity, so that put me in the mind of, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it take you there. That movie way beyond its time. You know what I'm saying? It was far ahead of its time, and man, I just love chopping it up, man. This crazy because this is the first time I'm having a discussion like this openly, but I've always talked about, man, that movie Matrix. It was deep, like
Yeah, the Matrix was so
it's
it was too deep to talk about for
getting too
real.
fast, and I
It
think
was way too deep to talk about for real.
it
And
was.
another thing too, about the Matrix is that like you were saying earlier, you hit on the point that there was so much, I guess, hidden symbology and all that stuff. So you probably had to watch the Matrix quite a few times to really get everything. Which I'm pretty sure I don't have everything down in the Matrix and all that stuff. And it's just the hidden symbology behind it and what does it mean. So we sit back and we be entertained. So when I'm looking at stuff like that, yeah, I'm being entertained. It was an awesome movie. You know what I'm saying? It came out when I was young, very young, but at the same time, um, it was fascinating to watch. But these movies still have bits and truths in it that we have to get from it. I'm not saying that you can learn everything from movies and all that stuff. No, what I'm saying is we have to be able to chew the meat and throw away the bone. There are messages in these movies that they are clearly conveying to us, and you'll be a goddamn fool not to listen to them. That's what I am saying. You'll be a fool not to listen to them. And one thing that stood out to me to prove my point is the first time that I even ever heard of AI that I had to revisit that somebody brought up was at the daggone Matrix in 1999. And remember, they were just the AOL and all that stuff was just started popping when you be
Yeah,
on the phone and a person can't be on the internet at the same time because you hear that startup noise and everything. You know what I'm saying? So, and they talking about AI is taking over and they fast forwarding into the year. They already knew back then what was going on with the technology and what kind of technology that they were creating. And I know what kind of technology they creating too. And I'm not no daggone conspiracy theorist. They showing you right in front of your face.
they feed it.
Um,
Man.
yeah, they showing you right in front of your face.
They feed. I didn't mean to cut you
You
off.
good, bro?
It's crazy. I was just thinking about AI. I was thinking about AI when we was talking before. Like that's to show you what was to come. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
they feed it to you. They give it. They always give it. They put it out there, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the whole. That's the if you, for lack of better words, like that's the beauty of the system. It's not really hiding.
Right.
It's counting on you to be sleep. Just don't pay attention. Look over there. You feel what I'm saying? But think
Right.
about and I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Not to even. I just put this would come to mind. I'm just gonna say it. I think about if a person is a pedophile, you know what I mean, or trying to do something to finesse a kid in a sense, right? Just hear me for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Don't start off where they just coming in and trying to do something, sexually assault you or the child. It has to start off with some kind acts. I need to gain your trust. Let me
Right.
give you candy. Let me laugh and joke with you. Let me talk. You see what I'm saying? And
Right.
I'm saying that as an analogy because that's how they do us. Like as far as if I'm going to violate you, I need you to be comfortable with the violation first, in the sense. And they violate you by your train of thought. I'm gonna make you feel like this is something you need. And the whole time I'm out here making you look this way while we building our family. We are saving our homes. We are getting our credit in order. We are being financially stable. We're buying up properties. You see what I'm saying? That's the finesse right there. That's the raping at the end of the day. When you don't realize, man, your house, you have so much work to do. The longer you stay locked in, and as long as you stay on that blue pill, it's
Mm-hmm.
work to do when you decide to take the red pill. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? You have more work to do. I can attest to that. I made mistakes, as we all have, you know what I'm saying? I made mistakes, and it's stuff that you realize that cost me a couple years and I ain't had to lose. You know what I'm saying? Thank the most high that I see it now, but at the end of the day, like I could have moved different had I been snatched out this matrix system a little bit earlier, you know what I mean?
Let me see something. Let me see if I can if this the AI scene. Let me know. I'm gonna bring it up. Let me see
All
if
right,
this the AI scene. Really quickly. Let's make that widescreen. Let's go ahead and add this.
billions of people just living out their lives, oblivious. Did you know that the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect human world where none suffered, where everyone would be happy? It was a disaster. No one would accept the program. Entire crops were lost. Some believed that we lacked the programming language to describe your perfect world, but I believe that as a species, human beings define their reality through misery and suffering. So the perfect world was a dream that your primitive cerebrum kept trying to wake up from. Which is why the Matrix was redesigned to this, the peak of your civilization. And I say your civilization because as soon as we started thinking for you, it really became our civilization, which is, of course, what this is all about. Evolution, Morpheus. Evolution. Like the dinosaur. Look out that window. You had your time. The future is our world, Morpheus. The future is our time.
Man.
All right, so that's that, right? So,
He said a lot.
what do you think about that, though?
He said a lot. First of all, he
Is
said
that the scene that we needed, though?
that's one of them though. That was one, but that you had the other scene where they was they had the two chairs. It was just Morpheus and Neo having the
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can bring that scene up real quick.
but that solid too though, bro. Like
Is that the one where he was talking about the AI though?
that man said the system wasn't working because they kept trying to basically think for themselves. Like had to redo it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing. And then how he said, look at billions of people just living their lives oblivious to, you know what I mean, really what's going on. They drop so much truth and stuff that can go over your head because I don't even think I know I seen that movie a few times. I don't even think I even paid attention to that particular line right there. Like that was just letting them know like we really locking y'all into something. And you know they usually sell just I noticed I just thought about that, man. They usually sell it to you as something that's more helpful. It's always sold as as something feed into this concept. AI, which is good because it can be helpful, which that's not lying. Having something that you could just ask the questions. I seen a dude ask, "Help show me how to cook such and such," and the whole recipe came up. You feel me? Like, and just you like that's amazing, right? But you gotta watch for the help. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta watch for what they feel is what they keep saying is so helpful. And the basic goal is, man, let's get them completely dependent on whatever we want to feed them. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's so many people who think they not on that. You know what I mean? Like they think they're not locked into the matrix. You can't tell them that they are. You know what I mean? But whole time you depend on that system too. Let you hear something about your finances being affected in some form of fashion and watch people lose it. That goes to show you.
Yeah, and also I want to give a shout out to the live viewers in the live stream. We definitely appreciate the viewers. You like, share, subscribe to the content. Definitely appreciate you guys. Man, that's what it's all about, the viewers. So I definitely gotta appreciate the viewers and everything. The link to the live stream is definitely in the description. If you want to join the live stream, the link to the description is the link to the live stream. The live stream, excuse me, is in the description. So I wanted to pull up this video. Let's just get out of there. And let's pull up this other video. Let's see. Let me share my screen. The screen is going to share to this one, and we gonna comment on this one. Let's see. You can see that.
I can see it.
Let's go.
This
Yeah,
is the
that's it.
construct. It's our loading program. We can load anything from clothing to equipment, weapons, training simulations, anything we need.
Right now, we're inside a computer program?
Is it really so hard to believe? Your clothes are different, the plugs in your arms and head are gone. Your hair has changed. Your appearance now is what we call residual self-image. It is the mental projection of your digital self.
Whoa.
I'm gonna look that up. I was grabbing a pen real quick.
He said it's a digital. I mean, hold on. Okay, look. What we're gonna do is all right. Let's see.
Your appearance now is what we call residual self-image.
Your appearance is now what we call residual self-image. That's an interesting term.
It is.
That's very interesting.
I'm gonna do some more research. I'm gonna look into that a little deeper.
All right, let's keep it spinning.
All right, bet.
It is the mental projection of your digital self.
It's the mental projection of your digital self. All right, so look, I got it. Let's take it back a couple times again. I got it.
Has changed. Your appearance now is what we call residual self-image. It is the mental projection of your digital self.
That's a good feel.
You remember what I was what I was telling you another form of the Matrix was basically from what I'm getting right now, just at the rewatching right now, is the social media.
Yeah.
It's a residual self-image of yourself.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's do this again.
Digital, and you could say digital self.
Let's do this one more time just to make sure I'm not crazy. Well, hold on one more time.
Your hair has changed. Your appearance now is what we call residual self-image. It is the mental projection of your digital self.
It's the mental projection of your digital self. So, and that describes in a nutshell how we can present ourselves on social media, how we describe in our mind versus how we are in reality. Remember, I told you those are two different things in reality, and people tend to treat, a lot of people tend to treat their social life better than their actual reality life. They treat their friends on social media and all that stuff and their followers, a lot of whom they don't even really know or have personal ties to. They treat them, better than they would treat people that's actually close to them and family in their own reality, people that's actually tangible to them. So that's wild. And trying to impress them, you know what I'm saying, the cold clout chasing ideology and everything. Oh man, that is the Matrix.
All day. And it's crazy that you even brought that spin on it about how you can treat your friends on social media better than your family and inner circle.
Mm-hmm.
The ones living day to day with you. Is also because it has a way of making people like to feel appreciated and recognized. You know what I'm saying? Which is, I believe, is a natural instinct or feeling. But they like the synthetic love that come from. You feel what I'm saying? Maybe.
Right.
And so with the attention that they may get, you know what I'm saying, on social media. And that's what it is. It's synthetic a lot of times, you know. Synthetic forms of love. It ain't, or synthetic forms of attention. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think people love it so much too, because social media provides a platform where you can be whoever you want to be, depending on how you want to spend it, what type of energy you put into, painting this picture. And Yeah, that's never where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? I never want to be that, so so much in depth with it. While at the same time, like I said, it's truth to it. Social media can, like, we using it right now. You know what I'm saying? To have these type of discussions, so it can be. It's how you use something. You know what I mean? I think it's based on how you use the platforms and how you everything is how you use it. That determines, you know what I'm saying, whether you stay on that blue pill time or that red pill time. Because we
Right.
all, yeah, we have to use it to some extent. It's way of life. We just don't have to, how basically be our only survival is because, we can't breathe without this. You have to
Right.
learn how to, yeah, disconnect. You know what I'm saying? Because it's in us naturally. You feel me? Like, but man, the whole residual self image,
This isn't
that's
real.
crazy.
What is real? How do
You
you
running it back
define
again?
real?
Mm-mm.
If you're talking
Oh,
about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Let's
stop
take
right
that back.
Real,
Let's take that back.
there.
Let's do it. 1 second.
talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals
Hold on one
interpreted.
more time.
All right.
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
True or false? Is that facts?
Absolutely
Or is
true.
that feelings?
That's definitely facts.
I would agree. Absolutely. Because
And that,
remember, I was telling you about deception and magic and all that stuff. If what we can see, touch, taste, and hear, it can be all real, then there'll be no need for magic. And people be hearing stuff all the time. People taste stuff all the time with nothing in their mouth. Like, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't necessarily dictate reality just because you actually saw a thing. It doesn't make it actually real. And that's why we had to decipher between what we watching, because a lot of stuff we think is real, like the stuff we see on social media and all that stuff that give us influence. Man, that stuff is fake.
yeah, that is definitely. I like how he asked them, like, what is real?
Mm-hmm.
And like, and then how he basically told them, real is what your perspective is. Like, what is your take on, you know on this food, or is it that or this to you? You know what I mean?
Right.
And man, they definitely dropping some serious information that they expected to go over top of your head in here, in this movie. But he questioned them. If you notice, I always say this too. Most things are a choice. We got to remember there's a choice in the matter of everything. So he didn't say, he ain't force feed him like, no, that's not real. He asked him, what is real? So if that's real to you, then it's whoop whoop whoop. You know what I mean? And then he gave him the knowledge though.
Right. Yep. All right. So let's keep it going. Let's see.
This is the world that you know. The world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix. You've been living in a dream world, Neo.
So basically, what he just told us what the Matrix is from the Matrix, the movie itself. So the Matrix is basically the world that we living in right now. He's saying it's a simulation, and it's no coincidence that after this movie came out, there were a lot of people that came out and said, what if this life is just a simulation? The idea probably didn't even wasn't even planted in the minds until the Matrix. But after the Matrix, notice the amount of people that started to believe that this life and everything is a simulation. Um, and it's crazy because I mean they was just talking about what is real and all this stuff. What is real? What is real is that if you die in this lifetime, you actually die in real life. So, you know, you can think that, I guess, this is a matrix, per se, but once this life is done, this life is done. We see that with our own observable eyes. You know what I'm saying? Nobody got back up out the grave. Not an animal. Nobody. They don't jump out the casket. That's not what happens on this side of heaven.
You got one shot.
Mm-hmm.
System knows that though. You know what I mean? I don't think we think about that enough. You know what I'm saying? Because like the fact that you had one shot at this thing we call life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if something can change the narrative for your kids, you know what I'm saying? I call it like how I deal with my kids. When I tell them certain stuff and I know it's going to take them they might have to mature a little bit, but I break it down for them and I know it's going to come back to them. Like how we remember them old sayings from our grandparents and all that. But I give them serious stuff, you know, I know it's pulling them away from the matrix. You know, you got to keep in mind you got one shot at it. You might not be able to see it, but your job might be just to start freeing, you know, snatch them out of it,
Right.
snatch your kids out of it.
Right.
Saying, because it's real, whether we want to ignore it or not. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one thing that's real. There is a programming system.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's really being successful because of a lot of us being distracted. You know what I'm saying? That's really it. It's about one thing though, that you have to keep in mind, and I just think you have to learn how to balance things and do things in moderation. You know what I'm saying? Certain things we can't get away from. Like I said, we're gonna need it, but control it. You know what I'm saying? Control that. You be in control of it.
Right. So, with that being said, let's continue. Um, 1 second here.
This is the world as it exists today. Welcome to the desert of the real. We have only bits and pieces of information, but what we know for certain is that at some point in the early 21st century, all of mankind was united in celebration. We marveled at our own magnificence as we gave birth to AI.
AI. You mean artificial intelligence?
A singular consciousness that spawned an entire race of machines. We don't know who struck first, us or them, but we know that it was us that scorched the sky. At the time, they were dependent on solar power, and it was believed that they would be unable to survive without an energy source as abundant as the sun. Throughout human history, we have been dependent on machines to survive. Fate, it seems, is not without a sense of irony. The human body generates more bioelectricity than a 120-volt battery and over 25,000 BTUs of body heat. Combined with a form of fusion, the machines had found all the energy they would ever need. There are fields, endless fields, where human beings are no longer born. We are grown. For the longest time, I wouldn't believe it. And then I saw the fields with my own eyes. Watched them liquefy the dead so they could be fed intravenously to the living. And standing there, facing the pure, horrifying precision, I came to realize the obviousness of the truth. What is the Matrix? Control. The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world, built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this.
There you go. And they told you in a nutshell that that's what it is, man. They told us in a nutshell that that's what it is.
I seen something too with the battery concept.
Yeah. Yeah.
Power,
You said power?
power.
That's an interesting concept.
Yeah,
What I see with the battery is cell regeneration.
yeah,
So that's two different concepts, and that's interesting,
yeah,
man. That's
definitely.
that's interesting. We actually we coming down on the time, you know what I'm saying?
So,
Is there any real interesting, real deep thoughts that you wanted to give to the people, you know what I'm saying, and let them know your true or some truer thoughts on a real fact over feeling type thing?
yeah, basically, man, just I love what this is. It's facts over feelings, and stay tuned in to to what we're talking about. I think this conversation can be endless, because it's a lot of ways you can go with that mindset of that matrix, being stuck in that matrix, that red pill or blue pill. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, it can be a lot to take in. But start with yourself and start with your family. You know what I mean? Start at home. Start being opening up to what's being said and what you can cut back on, and give more time to basically that inner spirit man. You know what I'm saying? Taking more control over what we depend on. You know what I'm saying? And what we depend on every day. That's basically it. Like you said, I fully agree. The first thing we have to do is admit that there is a matrix. And if you agree, then start small. Start with your home. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically it. That's what I believe that wholeheartedly, man. We start working on our homes. You know what I'm saying? We free the home front first, then we spawning leaders out here. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And for me, I just wanted to say personally, I appreciate people that joined the live stream.
Thank
The support is well appreciated. Brother Corey, I appreciate you for, you know what I'm saying, being on the panel, man. Awesome guy. He got awesome things, you know what I'm saying. Dad's raising men. Definitely support his whole movement, you know what I'm saying? It's merch out there. The merch is coming, man. It's a lot, you know what I'm saying? The IG, I already shared the IG with you, you know what I'm saying?
you.
Dad's Raising Men is not just an organization, it's a lifestyle, is what we actually do, you know what I'm saying? As fathers, as people, as dads, as parents, you know what I'm saying? This is what we do. So I appreciate you, brother Corey, for definitely coming on the panel, man. This won't be the first time, and this definitely won't be the last time either, you feel me?
Definitely, bro. I appreciate it. I'm here whenever you call.
Yeah, man. With all that being said, man, we out. I appreciate you, man.
All right.